Have you ever heard of Medusa, the snake-haired monster who could turn you to stone with a single glance? Now just imagine a real place on Earth where animals actually look like they've been turned into stone. Welcome to Lake Natron. It's a blood-red lake in northern Tanzania that's so chemically extreme, it can preserve dead animals almost perfectly. But here's the real question. What would happen if you jumped in? Would you dissolve? Burn alive? Or maybe even turn into a stone statue? Let's find out. Lake Natron sits in northern Tanzania, near the border of Kenya. It lies in the Great Rift Valley, which is honestly one of the most geologically active regions on Earth, and right next to it stands a very unusual volcano, Oldoinyo Lengai. This volcano is different from almost every other volcano on the planet. Instead of spewing normal lava, it erupts something called carbonatite lava, which is rich in sodium and potassium carbonate. When rain washes those minerals into Lake Natron, the water becomes, well, chemically extreme. Lake Natron doesn't drain into any ocean. That means water evaporates, but minerals stay behind. Over time, the lake becomes extremely salty, highly alkaline, and chemically aggressive. Its pH can reach between 10.5 and 12. For comparison, pure water is pH 7, baking soda is pH 9, and ammonia is pH 11. Lake Natron is almost as alkaline as household ammonia. That's strong enough to irritate skin, burn eyes, damage tissue, and destroy cells. But here's where it gets really creepy. When animals die in the lake, the high alkalinity stops decomposition. Instead of rotting, they become preserved. In 2013, wildlife photographer Nick Brandt documented birds that looked like literal stone statues, perfectly preserved, hardened, frozen in time. But here's the twist. The lake doesn't instantly turn them to stone. They likely crashed into the reflective surface, drowned, and then became preserved by the alkaline water. It's more like natural mummification than petrification. Creepy? Absolutely. Supernatural? Nope. Now here's the paradox. Despite its deadly chemistry, Lake Natron is actually one of the most important breeding grounds for flamingos. Why is that? Well, it's because predators just can't survive there. Flamingos, on the other hand, have tough, scaly legs, thick skin, salt-filtering glands, and really strong stomach acids. They feed on toxic algae that thrives in the lake. For them, honestly, it's paradise. But for most other animals, it's a chemical nightmare. Okay, so let's say you decide to cannonball into Lake Natron. What happens next? Let's look at scenario 1, the hot season. The water temperature can reach 60 degrees Celsius, or 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to cause third-degree burns in just seconds. Your skin would burn, blister, and become chemically irritated. And your eyes. Instant pain, severe irritation, and possible damage. If you inhale any water, you'd suffer chemical damage to your lungs. You wouldn't turn into stone, but you'd definitely be in serious danger. Now, scenario 2, the cooler season. If temperatures are lower, it might feel a bit like a hot tub at first, but the alkalinity is still extreme. Got any open cuts? You'd feel intense burning. Stay submerged long enough, and you risk dehydration, chemical irritation, and infection. Worst case? You drown. If you drown and remain submerged, the high pH would prevent bacteria growth, halt normal decomposition, and actually preserve your tissues. Years later, your body could still be intact, hair, skin, and possibly even organs. Not stone, but preserved. In 2007, a helicopter crashed into Lake Natron. The passengers were injured, but incredibly, they survived. Local Maasai tribespeople rescued them quickly. It's proof that Lake Natron is dangerous, but not instantly lethal. So, could you survive jumping into Lake Natron? Yes, you could. But should you? Absolutely not. Because while it won't turn you into Medusa's latest statue, it might leave you burned, injured, or permanently damaged. And honestly, that's almost worse. If you enjoyed this episode of Imagine If Anything, what extreme place should we survive next? The Dead Sea? A limnic eruption? Or maybe the Mariana Trench? Let me know. And remember, just because something looks like stone, doesn't mean it isn't alive.